Welcome to Stop the Madness. We live? Oh, we here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Stop the Madness. I'm your host, The Kid Plot. My co-host, Isaac Cotto, it's his birthday. He's a jokester today, so it's okay.
That's right.
Happy 78th? My man looks great.
Not 78.
Oh, 48. Damn.
48 was all good.
My bad, dog. I gave you 30 extra. But that's good. If you look like this at 78.
I feel good because I'm doing a lot better than a certain individual. Certain individual called Diddy.
Oh my God.
Take that.
Take that.
48.
Yep.
Just better, my man. Yep.
Yo,
Private jets, mansions in Miami, LA don't mean nada.
hey yo, you had a couple drinks in you today?
It's my birthday.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a pass today. I'm gonna give him a pass.
I just can't help it. It's my
Hey yo, so we got a video that we're gonna react to.
All right, let's
It's
react.
obviously on the topic that we're talking about.
It is the topic.
All right, let's see it.
Oh man, you got some visitors, dog.
We're seeing that large presence.
New video, Diddy slowly pacing outside Miami's private jet facility at 3 p.m. yesterday via TMZ as Homeland Security raided mansions on both coasts, from his $35 million waterfront estate in Florida to Beverly Hills.
I'm outside Diddy's $40 million pad. It's quiet now, but yesterday, media, SWAT vehicles, dozens of armed officials and investigators descended on the property, seizing boxes of evidence and putting his sons Christian and Justin in handcuffs. They were reportedly detained and released. So what does this raid mean for Diddy and any evidence against him?
Law enforcement had enough to get the search warrant. They maybe even have enough to get an indictment, and if so, I expect Diddy to be arrested in a matter of days and no more than weeks.
This afternoon, Diddy's attorney called the raid a gross overuse of military-level force and part of a witch hunt, adding that his client is innocent and was never detained but spoke to and cooperated with authorities.
How y'all doing?
Seems like Diddy was completely caught off guard. Check out his demeanor just 6 days ago, beaming while out with his son Quincy in West Hollywood. So where's the rapper now? Well, all eyes have been focused on tracking his private jet, which left LA around 9 a.m. yesterday, bound for Antigua and Barbuda.
The United States has an extradition treaty with Antigua and Barbuda, which means that Diddy can be arrested there and brought back to the United States.
Clearly, his house got raided.
Dude,
What is that? 2 days ago,
yes.
and then his kids got handcuffed on camera.
He was like, I'm out.
He's like,
I'm out. Handle this, kid.
and what's crazy is that then he goes to the Caribbean in his private jet, and why does he go to Antigua?
Well, apparently there's an island pretty close that doesn't have an extradition.
Antigua is the island, I believe.
I'm not sure, but from what I understand,
That is the island that has no
Antigua?
extradition. Hmm.
I just don't see. I heard that it was something where there's another island close to Antigua in the
Okay.
Caribbean. There's just so you know, there's very few countries
Hmm.
that do not have an extradition treaty with the United States.
Right.
Guess what country we're talking about? China,
Hmm.
your Middle Eastern countries,
Of course.
some African countries. It's very few. It's not. But I just found out Venezuela doesn't have a extradition treaty with the United States. And if I was Diddy, I'd take my $100 million and I'd be in Venezuela.
100 million. That man's worth more than that.
Yeah, but he can't liquidate.
No, of course.
So if he could liquidate 50, 60, 70 million, go to Venezuela.
So you're promoting him to do more illegal activity.
No. He hasn't been charged. He has no conviction.
Right.
If he liquidates.
So the best thing to do is to just run, just in case.
If you're gonna run, do it.
So do you think he's guilty of all these accusations or all these allegations?
The only, and this is where I struggle, right?
Mhm.
As this whole concept of sex trafficking to me is very nebulous, meaning
Yeah.
very vague and open. And I do criminal law, but I don't focus on criminal law. I would love to hear from a criminal attorney that doesn't do anything else but handle like heavy felony, federal level criminal type cases. Someone explain to me what's sex trafficking, right? So if we're talking about Cassie, who's a grown ass adult, 20 something years old, hops on the private jet, goes to the party, goes to New Orleans, drinks, parties up, gets to the hotel, male strippers, they bang her out, whatever, and she still dates the guy, and then a few years later says, I was forced to do all these things, and I got on the plane and I went to New Orleans. That's sex trafficking. Like, that to me is a problem, right? Like, but if there's some allegations that there were minors involved, that's a whole different story.
Right.
If there's any evidence where he paid, hey, bring me the 16-year-old from New Jersey to Miami, now you're talking a whole different scenario. There's allegations and civil lawsuits, but there's no detail. Like, who are the minors? Yes, he brought strippers, male, female. Who gives a shit? Okay, he did this. We're grown adults, everybody in the room. To come back years later and say, oh, I was forced, but I stood with him for 2 months. And I made music with him, and I got paid. Oh, but I was forced. He groped me, but I stayed another 8 weeks working with Diddy while he groped me. Wah, wah, wah. Give me a fucking break.
But see, this is where we spoke a little bit about this before a few months ago. So this is where I think that when you have that kind of money, when you're that rich, whether you're worth 500 million or over $1 billion like Diddy is, I think that's when you become. A lot of people say, and I was saying this off camera, that they think that people change when they get a lot of money.
Yep.
And I don't believe that's true. I believe you become more of what you are.
Okay.
Whatever it is that you are innately like, you're gonna make more of that. So if you're the type of guy that likes to have a lot of women, but you ain't got money to have a lot of women, so you'll just have whatever you can while you're broke. But if you had a lot of money, you'll probably have a shit ton of women, whether you got to pay whatever amount for. I want to date this girl. I want to date that girl. I want an Asian this time. I want a Korean girl. I want a Latina girl. I want a white girl. I want a black girl. I want a Russian girl. If you got that kind of money, you'll pay whatever amount. I want a porn star this time. You're going to pay whatever amount of money it is that it's going to cost you if you got that kind of money, because that's just how you are, right? Now, if you innately have the desire to always look for your next high, or your next excitement moment, or you got an itch. You know what? That's not doing it for me no more. I need something greater. That's not doing it for me now. I need something greater, because I've had friends that are multimillionaire celebrities, famous, and they've told me stories of other people that they know. What ends up happening is, if you have any percentage of interest in teenage girls or guys, or if you have any type of innate desire towards borderline, like minor, like a borderline age, whether it's 17 going on 18, something real, you're going to end up looking for that high at some point in time if you have that kind of money, because you're going to have that kind of power where you can buy whatever you want. When you got that kind of money, you could buy almost anything.
Sure.
Until the government says, you cross the line, bro. Now we coming for you. And that's what ends up happening with a lot of these, filthy rich people, is that they end up wanting another high because, damn, I had all the girls. Now I had some, and in Diddy's case, if there was guys involved, damn, I had the guys. I'm not getting high off that no more. I did the weed. Weed ain't doing it. Let's move on to the stronger drug. Damn, that's not doing it. Let's go on to the stronger drug. You know what? That ain't really getting me that high no more. And then you move on to the more dangerous stuff that can cause life-changing effects, that'll have life-changing effects. So it's the same thing with this, where, in this case, I don't know if he's guilty or not, but it's not completely out of the realm of possibility that it is true.
I think what he's guilty of, which is an easy, very reasonable acceptance, is, he's had crazy parties. he's probably had a lot of homosexual activity happen in his house and his parties, which obviously he doesn't want out in the public.
Right.
So that's why you pay Cassie off within 24 hours. I don't. He has other pending lawsuits, but I can see where in his world, right? He's in the hip hop world, the music world. You don't want that information out. But this whole concept again of the sex trafficking. I saw a video and I wasn't clear. I made a comment. I said, "Hold on. I'm talking to a female out of state.
Mm-hmm.
I invite her to come visit me in my state.
Mm-hmm.
And I decide to have a freak off with that female.
Mm.
And I pay for all her expenses. And we have a freak off. And I do whatever with her.
Mm-hmm.
But then something happens. We have a falling out.
Mm.
We have a bad breakup.
Mm.
5 years later, she says, Isaac forced me to have these freak offs.
Yeah, but this dude Diddy's got so many allegations from so many people, bro.
I think
It's a lot.
money grab. What
You think it's a money? Yeah, I mean that's not that, again. That's why I said
a
it.
lot of people come. These females like, oh yeah, with Aaron Hall, the singer from Guy. Oh yeah, Diddy. It was two.
But I think Diddy got guys coming out too.
But okay, but that doesn't.
Yeah, nah, you're right. You're right.
Doing homosexual activity.
Nah,
He's
you're
like,
right.
Hey, plot, come in this room with me with this guy.
Word.
Right? But you don't go nowhere. You stay working with him for 6 months, and then
Yeah.
you're gonna say, "Oh, he sexually assaulted me. He you know."
But you know what doesn't help him though? It doesn't help him that
That
other.
he hopped on a plane and
Exactly. That's one thing. And
the
also,
problem.
and another thing that doesn't help him, that's the most obvious one. Another thing that doesn't help him is when you have other A-list celebrities literally saying, yeah, he did it. Like you got 50 Cent going in on him right now.
Yeah,
50 Cent is posting every 2 hours about this
for
dude.
sure. But here, there's a big difference. Criminal guilt versus civil liability, right? So, criminal guilt, we all know, is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right.
Very, very high standard.
Mm-hmm.
Civil liability is more likely than not, meaning you have a jury, 51%, you probably did it, versus 49%. And they might say, you know what? Plot, you probably did this. We believe this person. Instead of you didn't want to pay him the 30, you know, you're a bad guy. You should have paid him something for what you made him do. Now pay him $100 million.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the risk. That's why you do these settlements. But criminal liability is a much higher standard.
Right.
The guilty beyond a reasonable doubt is far greater. Now, Diddy's a ultra rich individual. I don't think he's surprised. Like all this that's going on, investigation, there's no way that he's facing these lawsuits and was not even aware, like, man, based on these allegations, I might have some criminal charges coming up.
Yeah.
I just read somewhere where he sold his media company Revolt. We don't know the amount.
Yeah.
But he basically liquidated a very big asset.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be 50, 60, $100 million.
Yeah.
He's liquidated that. Those are actions of someone who's been given advice to say, hey, you may be having some serious problems on the way.
And that's why I said that at the end of the day, a person that's not guilty doesn't leave the country to an island that has no extradition.
Hey, real quick, is my mic working? Just to make sure. I got a comment saying that my mic is not working. Just let's check the mic real quick.
Yeah, it's working. It's working.
All right, it's working. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know who said your mic's not working.
Okay, you know why? Because it's on Instagram.
See, that's why I'm not live on IG, because then, you know, the confusion happens.
I'm on YouTube. Go to the YouTube channel.
Yeah. And not only that, it's because you had your phone like this, but kind of like blocking the mic. It's on but this mic is definitely working. But anyway,
Go to the YouTube channel so you can hear me. My bad. I'm sorry. All right.
we're not on YouTube, guys. We're on Instagram. We're not on YouTube anymore. But anyway, so yeah, I think that again, like if you're not guilty of anything, you don't run. Oh, and it looks like he's running.
No, it's a bad
And supposedly the flight was already booked. He was already planning on going there. It just looks way too coincidental.
So okay, our boy OJ, we're talking about 1994. Hopped in the Bronco.
I remember that. Damn.
Everybody knows.
Yo.
30-some years old. You remember the day OJ hopped in the Bronco.
That man was out.
Automatically, everybody assumed this dude is guilty.
What was his lawyer's name?
Johnny Cochran.
Johnny Cock. But well, you're a lawyer. I forgot his name. So guess what? I don't think Diddy got Johnny Cochran.
No. It's a perfect example, right?
Word.
So, not guilty on the criminal charges, but the civil case, hey, they got his ass.
Yeah.
Sold his house, his Heisman, whatever. Completely cleaned them out. $33 million. He lost the civil case.
Right.
Which is what Diddy's looking at. But the fact that Diddy's traveling, he's on a private jet. Honestly, we looked at, there's not many countries that do not have an extradition treaty. But Diddy's part of the Hollywood music circle.
Mm-hmm.
And they're almost infamous for what's being alleged. Like, it's commonplace.
Right.
You know, all this crazy activity, the drugs, homosexuality, blah blah blah, is very, very commonplace. But that doesn't make it criminal.
Right.
Right? Like that. This is where I struggle. Like, if you're an 18 plus year old male, female, and you've partaken in these activities for an extended period of time, it's different.
Right.
I'm Isaac, the super producer.
Mm-hmm.
I got a record company. I'm making gazillions of dollars, and I bring you in as an artist, and I grab your hand or grab your thigh, and that day you smack my hand away and you say, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
And you leave, and you file a lawsuit. Guess what? That to me makes sense.
Yeah.
But you let me grab your hand, and I grab your thigh,
Nah.
and I rub your booty,
Yeah.
and we make
But see,
music together. You make millions of dollars with me.
But here's the thing, though. I hear what you're saying. The problem is that's when the artist got to make a decision. Do you care about your career or what's happening in the moment, you know, at that very moment of harassment or whatever's happening? You have to be willing to make a decision. And that's why a lot of artists or a lot of people in Hollywood or whatever the case may be, they'll end up putting up with those situations because they're like, dang, this is the person is giving me the opportunity that I've been dreaming for my whole life. I can literally put that at risk right now by saying something. And they know that I really want this.
Right.
So they're like, yo. And I think it's just so unfair, but life ain't fair. So you got a choice. It's in your hands. You either gonna do it or not. I think Terry Crews came out one time saying the same thing, that there's been a lot of directors or producers or people that were in charge of whatever movie, and they would make, you know, moves on them, homosexual moves towards them guys. And, you know, he was tired of it one time, and he had to, you know, he actually came out and spoke about it. So it's just one of those things that is very unfortunate, because a lot of times that happens in Hollywood. It happens in the entertainment industry as a whole, where if you're in a position that they know you want something because this is what you've been working towards your whole life, and there's just certain sick people in the industry that they're going to try to make a move. They're going to try to do things that you're not okay with, and you have to be willing to either accept it, or if you don't accept it, accept what's going to come for not accepting it, which is sad.
If you're Diddy, what's your next move? Say if you're Diddy, you're on the private G5 plane, you just landed in wherever. What is your
If I'm Diddy, I'm coming and I'm facing the music.
You're going to come back to the States?
Yeah, I'm facing the music. I wouldn't have left to begin with.
No?
Nah, unless I was guilty. If I was guilty, I'm out.
You out.
I'm out. I got enough money that I'm never coming back to America.
You're not gonna see me.
Yeah, I ain't coming back to America for what? I'm going to China.
Fuck it, right?
I got enough money to live large.
Or Iran.
Come on, man. I'll live the next 30 years. How old is Diddy? 50?
Yeah, he got about 35
Come on, man.
years left.
Next 30 years,
I'm out.
multi-millionaire in China. They'll accept me. Trust me.
I was just talking. I said, man, you go to Venezuela with $100 million, you give the government
I'll go to Venezuela, even better. Because me personally, I speak Spanish. Absolutely.
$20 million, and you got $80 million.
Easy.
You live a good life,
Bro.
in Venezuela.
But if I'm not guilty, I'm staying. I'm not going to no country where there's no extradition if I'm not guilty. That doesn't make sense.
That's a tough one.
You're going to go somewhere else if you're not guilty because you're worried that, damn, the system might be effed up and I might get caught up.
The criminal system is designed for you to fail.
But isn't it innocent until proven guilty?
Yeah, it sure is. But it's so designed.
Damn, this is coming from a lawyer.
It's so designed for you.
This is coming from a lawyer. God damn.
Lesser serious cases, and it's literally, you can have a DUI case, right? You get stopped for a DUI where you have a really good chance. Like, you know what? If you fight this case, you might really win. But if you lose, they're gonna fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna.
So is this why they do plea deals? Because the possibility of losing is so bad?
Which is a lesser charge.
Yeah.
And then you do all these classes, and you pay a fine, and do all the. You jump through all these hoops because if you take the risk and you lose, the penalty is so large. You take the deal, right? So here you are. Say if you do face the music.
Hey, put the camera on him while he's talking, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Go ahead.
you. My Instagram fans are watching me.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
But if you decide you're gonna take the deal, and they say, okay, we're gonna offer you 5 years in prison.
Yeah.
Or you can fight the case. You really think you're innocent, but if you lose, we're gonna give you 35 years.
Yeah.
Man, how is that? How is
Yeah.
that?
Nah, of course. That's why you take plea deals.
Right. Like how?
Because you're like, man, like it's almost like.
What if I lose and just give me 15 years? No, they're like, oh, if you lose, if we win, oh, we going for the home run grand slam.
You know the example. I'm gonna give you an analogy. What you just said, the analogy would be if you go to an amusement park and they say, listen, if you get on this ride and you complete it, you win $1 million. But there's a 20% chance you'll die. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna take the chance. I'm gonna say, well, what's the plea deal that I can take? Because I don't want the 20% chance of me dying.
Of you dying.
I understand that if I win, exactly. I understand that if I win, I get a great reward. But the losing is the reward for losing is too horrible. But yeah, man. So yeah, that's why I say nah. There's no way. And it's a sad thing that that's the way the system is. But
it's designed for you to fail.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
Nah, it's all good. Just grab give him that.
Boom. Let me get the whole thing.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. He spilled.
Hold on, 1 second. 1 second.
Put the Instagram down, man. We trying to be on YouTube right now. Okay. But go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, it's definitely without a doubt. The system is designed for you to fail. Even if you have a high risk or a high probability of success, it is designed for you to fail. There's no way. You know, you take the risk to win, and credit to those that decide to go to trial, and they end up winning. But man, if you lose for whatever the most basic case, they hit you over the head and make you feel the pain.
Yeah, it's not worth it. That's why plea deals is always what ends up, people taking.
Diddy should just go ahead and cut to the chase. I think at the end of the day, my professional opinion, cut the chase. Find out what's going on and see if you can work out a deal as of now.
Yeah.
Start finding what is it that you want, what are you looking for, and start working a deal. If you got to do 2-3 years in prison, do it. Keep your money, keep your assets.
Yeah.
And call it a day.
Otherwise, they gonna keep doing this.
FBI, open up!
All day long, they gonna be coming in that piece. They gonna be coming in there. And they're going to be looking for whatever they can use to incriminate you and find out whether you're innocent or guilty. So when they go to court, they got this evidence against you, bro.
All right. Well, hey. Yep. People, my friends, we're going to wrap it up. Of course, like and subscribe.
Yes.
Comment below. Let us know what you think. Should Diddy run I'll show you. Come back to the States and face the music.
Face the music.
And we see y'all next week.
Peace. Make sure y'all like and subscribe.
Yep.